We're going to look at some affiliate sites. I'm going to ask your guys' input on what you think, based on the session that Paul ran, these guys could do to increase the conversions of their website, what changes they could make, and we've also got Paul and Sandis, who are also there to provide their feedback on the websites and really what we could do to make sure that all the traffic that they're generating is going to result in the conversions that they want to see. So it follows on from Paul's presentation earlier, and hopefully it'll be a really interesting exercise that you can apply to your own websites when you go away, based on the conversion tips and based on what we discuss now. So we're going to run through a load of websites that we've put together. If you want to volunteer your own website to put up there, then we'll go through that as well. So it should be quite interesting. I kind of just went to Google and started searching. So if your website pops up, I apologize. I probably won't, but we'll see. If it pops up, then fair play. You're ranking. Just before we run on to that, there's a couple of tips that you can do that allow you to kind of have a look from the surfer's point of view, going on from what Paul mentioned. One of the things you can do is kind of just load the website. As Paul mentioned, 7 seconds. If you just load the website and look at it for a few seconds and then close your eyes, go away and try and remember what the website was about. Often we find that you kind of, the message gets diluted within the site. So load the website up, close your eyes, well, what was the site about? And if you don't understand straight away, okay, yeah, it's teeth whitening, it's weight loss, then you might want to re-emphasize that message in the header, in the imagery of the website. Going on from what Paul said in terms of actually the content on the site and breaking up the paragraphs, one thing you can do is actually read the content out loud. And if you can't read it out loud without thinking, actually that doesn't sound very good, or it doesn't read well, then you want to make the change. It's quite a weird exercise to do, just talking out loud to yourself at your computer, but it's a really useful exercise. And the final one is just taking a step back from the site and just sort of take a couple of steps back and look at the screen and see what pops out and see what where the emphasis is. They're quite simple exercises you can do on your own site and just get a bit more of an idea about what people are seeing when they look at your site and what they're reading. So a few little tips there. So we're going to go on and look at some of the websites that I've put together. If you want us to look at your site, just stick your hand up. We'll load it up on the computer, and we'll get people's feedback on what they think we could do to improve the conversions and what these guys think as well. So it might be quite a nice exercise. So the first site we've got here is clearly looking to promote HGH Advanced and the HGH type products. My first question out to you guys is, what do you think of the site? What improvements can we make? And looking at that site, what would you change? Would anybody like to rake some recommendations for this site?
I like that the header is quite small, and it's the lettering is big enough so I know what you said. You know what it's about right now. But I think as soon as you go down to the text, maybe put an header with, because you have like a big text at the beginning, but sometimes maybe divide it with H1, like a big H1 at the beginning, a big title, and then a few subtitles, because there's a big bunch of text.
Yeah, it's unexciting. You don't want to read that because although it's broken up quite nicely, there's no bolding, there's no focus, and it's quite it's not exciting enough to make you want to read that. Yeah. Has anybody else got any suggestions on things we can do to change the site? So changing the width of the main copy in the centre, bringing it in a bit.
I think it's just important for
Yeah.
And that is just follow for the search engines, in my opinion. It's not been optimised yet.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a case of getting some out there. Any other suggestions on things we can do?
Say, from what Paul said, is the golden triangle rules there at all?
No, that's completely true. You've got the what is HGH treatments in the navigation, but that welcome to human growth hormone. Paul's already mentioned welcome to my site. You know, it's irrelevant. People don't want to know that. They want to. The golden triangle there is definitely not being utilised. That's for sure.
So I was going to mention having the H1 header tag with the benefit and in colour, and just before the bullets you could have a H2 tag doing the same with another benefit with obviously coloured font.
Yeah, re-emphasising the main strengths in the headers and breaking up that just text basically is a fantastic idea. Do we have any other suggestions? Change the colour. Too bland. Certainly, like we mentioned, it's not exciting, it's not appealing. A nice image in there perhaps to kind of break up all that text with the header tags. And yeah, it is a new sector, so as Gary mentioned, it's been put up there to generate traffic, but at the same time, you know, it's getting traffic, or it will be getting traffic, because I found it by probably searching HGH Advanced or HGH or whatever. So we might as well make use of that traffic and try and generate the sales. Paul, do you have sort of thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really got a great deal to add to that. I think everyone picked up most of the main things. What I would probably say is the bullet points are perhaps a little bit too far down the page. I'm not sure. It might be different when you look at it on a computer screen as opposed to a screenshot on a presentation, but to me those might be below the fold. You know, there's no bolding, there's no U focus like it's been mentioned. There's no obvious path that I should take either at this stage. So if I've come there and I already know that I want more information on the product, or I know I want to buy the product, there's nothing that I can click that's immediately obvious to take me through to another part of the site. So yeah, I think we've probably covered most of the main things. I will say, but neither me or Sandis have actually seen any of these sites ourselves, so it's not like we prepare things, so we're seeing it the same as you. So
Well, that's a good thing about Tingle
I
Farm.
think it's a good thing because it means that, you know, if you haven't seen the site before, the things that you pick up on in the first few minutes are the things that most people are going to pick up on in the first few minutes. So Sandis, anything to add?
I'd prefer to see the navigation more developed, but I guess inside is so young, it's not really completed yet. But a good left or right-hand navigation with a lot of kind of keyword-rich links for SEO optimization would be also a very good thing to have on every website. That's it.
We're going to jump on to the next one. Would anybody like to kind of put their site up?
One thing that you say about websites,
Spelling mistakes.
and there's one on there.
Yeah, obviously different surfers have different opinions on that, but it's just a lot of people will pick up on those things, and it instantly devalues the message that you're sending. So yeah, that's obviously quite an important thing, that surfers will get put off by those sorts of things. So especially if English isn't your first language, then it's certainly something that you need to make sure you get checked, I guess. Yeah. Would anybody like to volunteer to put one of their websites up, or we'll move on to the next one? Actually, yours is in here already. Okay. So now we've got something a little bit different. Teeth whitening, affiliate site. I know who this is, and they're not in the room. So yeah, what's our thoughts on this? Would anybody like to sort of comment on initially your reactions, what you think of the site?
The header was meant to be big. It should be smaller.
This whole section, I don't know actually if it's the same when you navigate through to the pages, but it probably is, and you're right, it's far too big. Anything else that you noticed straight away? Yep, no bullet points. Kind of. Well, it's got a massive sparkling white teeth. What that says to you, I don't know. Sparkling white teeth. It might be better to say something along the lines of, "You could enjoy sparkling white teeth," or a little bit clearer message there. And also, one thing that we see time and time again is the text colour and the background. It's a little easier on this screen because it's so big, but on the website it's near on impossible to read that blue text on that blue background. It's just not clear enough. You know, that should be black text potentially, and using not black text on white backgrounds, unless done well, it's quite difficult to sort of see that. We've seen it time and time again with these coloured backgrounds and different coloured text, and it's quite difficult. So that's something to look at as well. The call to action, yeah, that's especially that learn more button there. It's too small and it's very difficult to see and to click. And we're quite lucky that we've pretty much got before the fold on these images. So it's good that they've got the dental white stuff there, and it's good that they've got those there. But like you say, to learn more, what does learn more? It's not necessarily a great text to have on your call to action. There's a lot more you could do with that, and you can make it a lot bigger and a lot clearer. The navigation isn't great. About us, who wants to know about you? Probably there's better text and better content that you could put in there. So yeah, Paul, what's your thought?
Yeah, my first thought was I didn't even realise it was an affiliate site. I thought it was a product site when it first came up. I think partly because it's using an approach that we would often see on product sites, rather than the typical affiliate approach. But it certainly doesn't tell me that that's an informational site where I'm going to be able to find out information about teeth whitening. And the line as well that says, "We are the complete guide to your sparkling white teeth." If I'm on that website, I don't have sparkling white teeth, and so it's not a guide for me because it's not for my sparkling white teeth. So that sentence kind of means very little, really. I'd prefer to tell them something about how I'm going to give them sparkling white teeth. It's just a little thing. I mean, I don't think the site is too bad. I've certainly seen a lot worse than that.
What do you think are the main selling point? What are the good things about the site?
The good things, the H1 tag, ignoring what it says, is nice and large, so it does stand out. The graphic doesn't really do anything for me. I mean, she's fairly attractive, but but she doesn't do much more than that. She doesn't stress any benefits at all. So yeah, I'm struggling now for more positives. It's okay. It looks nice. I'd say nicely designed.
What are your thoughts, Sandy?
First of all, I have to agree the website is a little bit different. Like, in a way, thinking outside the box. Maybe not the proven model for affiliate review website, but still it's something it's worth trying out. So we'll see how it goes with that affiliate. What he could probably do is move navigation on the left-hand side up and squeeze it also on the right side. So it seems like a nice introduction, like a nice big H1 tag. Also, yeah, it's hard to see what actually is below the fold, but it's a little bit different, like it has no information, just goes into the product. Also, the gel, it seems a little bit facing outwards, so if you put something on the right hand, you want it to face actually in to the opposite side, and basically to center. The same with the product, it seems also a little bit kind of looking outside rather than inside the website center.
Yeah, just on that, you want your images and you want everything to pull into the site. When it's looking out of the site, it kind of takes your attention away from the main content area. So that's something to look at in your imagery as well, bringing them back in.
I think I've seen this site before, and one of the main issues, again, I would stress is that navigation is not really SEO friendly. It's it has like these blocks of text, which may be a good converter, but again, if you drive traffic with SEO, you may struggle like to get much traffic with this type of layout. Also, if you look at the top of the navigation, it's kind of not really like SEO friendly, kind of links I use like about us or home.
Frequently asked questions.
Yeah, about what? About what?
Yeah.
So
And the site itself, the domain name or the actual text they're using, to you finding reviews, you expect to find reviews, and and I guess that main content area could reflect that in some way.
in a way also the dental white, actually dental white what you would want to have dental white reviews and
Yeah.
so rather than just product.
Okay. We're going to move on. Yeah, this one is an interesting one. I guess we can spot some things that we could do quite quickly to improve the conversions of this website. Does anyone have any thoughts? Yeah, clearly one of the biggest mistakes that this affiliate's made, and a lot of affiliates make, is that they've got AdSense on their site, which earns you about 3 pence a year, and it's just a traffic leak at the end of the day. Why would you want to earn a few pence when you can potentially earn 20, 30 pounds commission by selling an actual product that they're looking for? In my opinion, AdSense is a big no-no, and is a traffic leak which you could use that traffic more effectively. Is there anything else that we spot immediately?
Paul suggested to take the site down.
Well, it's ranking, so something's happening. It's not your site, is it? Yeah, the navigation very SEO friendly, I guess.
Again, it looks like it's blog, so typical issue with blog is navigation. That's why we're working on a couple of new templates that's going to be very SEO friendly. So proper navigation, like internal linking, again, getting maximum out of the content you have. Obviously, all the copy, everything needs reworking on this side.
Everything's wrong with it.
Well,
No, nothing good.
well, obviously it's ranking, which means that the blog as a technology was a good choice.
Good. This is an interesting domain. Does anyone have any thoughts immediately on this site? What it's doing well, what it's doing poorly? The header is very large and not adding an awful lot. This probably you could reduce the size by half and have that same information in there. I think it's clear, the header is clearly telling you what they want you to see. If you did the test of look at the site, close your eyes, what do you immediately see? I think it's very apparent that it's a penis enlargement site, and it's very apparent that Cygenetics is what they're recommending, and so there's some clear benefits there.
It just looks like an advert, it doesn't look like a website.
Yeah, there's not any real value being added to the customer potentially from that site. I guess their bounce rate is quite high. I also a little bit confused as to why they've got this here. I guess they're trying to build some credibility in putting the address on the site, but above the fold in your key prominent area is not necessarily the place to put the website address. Paul, do you have any sort of thoughts?
Can you remember what the domain name was?
No.
Was it a review one? You don't know. Okay.
In fact, no.
No. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't repeat. But yeah, I mean, the domain name isn't mentioned anywhere, which if you are going to have a really big header, then at least put the domain name on there so that somebody can remember what your site is. But yeah, definitely reduce the size of that header. The H1 tag, Cygenetics medically and clinically proven penis enlargement system, there's no real benefits in there. There's a couple of features. In fact, it's clinically proven, but what does that actually add for somebody? They haven't used the colours very well for making things stand out. They've made too much of it red, so that none of the red on the medically and clinically proven penis enlargement system actually stands out. And yeah, like you said, the address is just a complete waste of space. I want to know when I land on that site, why should I carry on reading? And telling me who the product's sold by is up. There's no harm in having that on there, but right at the bottom when somebody's finally making that decision as to whether they want to go through and buy or not. Anything from you, Sanders?
Yeah, Paul is right about the address, and what you would want to do actually is at least put features, if not the benefits. If you want to keep it quite simple, just put the main kind of features of the product instead of address.
Some
Yeah.
positive things, choosing the right PE product. For a customer that doesn't really know what products are out there or what they're looking for, that's a fantastic opportunity there to guide them down the path that you want to take them. So if you can educate them on what is the right PE product for them, and with diet products, we've got so many diet products in the network that do so many different things. It's an opportunity really to kind of communicate with the customer in a way where you can decide what product is best for them and get their buy-in based on maybe a question that you asked them or a box that they've clicked on, and it's like, you know, for example, a fat binder, do you eat too much fat in your diet? Well, then you don't necessarily want to give them an appetite suppressant. You might want to direct them in the Proactel way. So there's the opportunity to somehow communicate with your customer and deliver them to the right place. So that's quite a strength, I think. Do you have a question?
Somebody doesn't know what PE is, so instead of might be able to promote it pretty much.
Yeah.
Do they know what that means, or just the same thing?
Yeah, it's quite confusing. PE, yeah, that's fine when you're talking amongst yourselves, but when you're trying to communicate with the customer, it means absolutely nothing. So.
And also the search engines obviously doesn't mean nothing. So.
Physical education. Okay, we'll move on. Over there. Okie dokie. Weight loss site. What are our initial thoughts on that? A lot of information. Too much information? Not much. It's clearly driving you to Proactel, and I guess looking at that, you would say that Proactel has got a very good review. But assuming that they're not looking for Proactel, then yeah, you're not guiding them, you're not telling them a story. You've got a lot of other potential reviews down the left-hand side, so it might not be Proactel that they're looking for. And at that stage, you need to educate the customer and decide on what product it is that they want. Any other thoughts? 24/7 support weight loss pills. Yep, that could change. What is nice is that thing at the top there. Breaking news, Capsiplex sold out. That's quite nice. Maybe not in the ideal place because it's too high up the site, but if you had that in the main content area, that would be really cool. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what that email looks like. Some kind of email collection point. I don't know what that's doing there. It might be an issue with the browser or something, but yeah. We're going to move on to quite an interesting site now. So this is the merchant site. So I'm really interested to hear people's thoughts on this site. Does anyone like to?
There's way too much delete title. Way too much.
In the main content area, too much. It's diluted message, I guess. Too many colours, so the use of the colours isn't as powerful as it could be. Inconsistent text sizes, text colours, text backgrounds. Any other thoughts? We can discuss the good things as well as the bad things.
I like the look of it. It's fresh and vibrant, as you associate to white thing, blues, like kind of skin.
Yeah, very good use of colours, I think.
Check out the top right corner, where it stand out.
The right in the header. Yeah, that's a good point. Especially once you've added things to your basket. maybe you can make that slightly bigger. I think the key selling point is very strong. You know, the up to 11 shades whiter, or your money back is says exactly what you want to hear when you first land on the site. So I think that message is great. I think the use of colours is fantastic, but I think the message is probably being diluted because there's so many key things being presented at the same time. What are your thoughts, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same, really. I think the header's quite large, but obviously it is being used to stress a benefit quite clearly, which makes it a little bit better. I would argue over whether it would be worth reducing the size of the header and bringing the benefit and just making it stand out a lot clearer in the main content area. Especially at the minute, you've got up to 11 shades whiter or your money back in the header, and then the first line of the main content is up to 11 shades lighter. So you're mentioning the same kind of benefit twice. So we could definitely take it out of the header, reduce the size of the header, and bring more content into the area underneath. There's definitely too many colours going on in there. Too much is trying to stand out, and that's meaning that very little is actually standing out. The use of fully capitalised words, get rid of them, just use lowercase. Equally, this line here, the best value for money and most cost-effective teeth whitening, the first letter of every word is capitalised, whereas it's not on the line directly below, which kind of makes it harder for the eye to read, because it's just the eye's having to adapt from one type of font to another, and it's just no consistency as you go through. What I do like, I like the Order Now button in the top right, the fact that it's circular as opposed to just flat like the others. What I would say you could do there to make it stand out even more is use a different colour for the order button. I'm not sure what colour, maybe a red would work quite well, maybe green. It'd be a case of trial and error to find the one that works. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the design itself, the design looks nice and professional, which will certainly sort of gain some credibility with the customers, you being a professional company who's not going to rip them off. It's just a case of sort of fine-tuning it to make sure that the key things that you want to get across are as clear as possible, which at the moment I don't think they are, but I don't think it's a million miles off from being right either.
There's a lot there. It's just a case of, like you say, tweaking it. These bullet points here in the image are difficult to read for sure, based on the colours and the fonts and things. We might want to look at, if you do make the header a bit smaller, you could bring those bullet points into the main content area and just get across those benefits. 3, maybe 4 key benefits in the main content area, I think would be really nice.
The phone number as well, I don't know how much you want to push phone sales, obviously with an activation code, goes without saying. But if you did want more phone sales, then at the moment, I've actually only just noticed the phone number. I noticed the callers, but I didn't actually read the phone number. So maybe put that in a slightly different box, a bit like the flags are to the left of it, just to get that to stand out a little bit more. Anything?
I think the site has a good start, because obviously it's proven to convert. But probably what we could do is run several split tests, like try different things. Like if you reduce header, make it maybe in 2 lines and maybe make a flash animation. So it still gets the benefits across. It's still effective, but just takes less space. And also, like mentioned, the checkout kind of section seems quite tiny, and also all the busy kind of introduction of the page could be probably reduced and tested.
And I guess about our kits could be reworded to make it more appealing, make it more you-focused. Maybe use a keyword in there, something a bit more useful. Faster results is obviously a good one to use. So yeah. Anything else, Sandy?
Well, it's hard to see the rest of the page, so probably that's it for now.
About the videos, maybe we can discuss the use of videos on affiliate sites and even merchant sites.
Oh, right, yeah.
There is a video there if we scroll down a little bit. What are your opinions? And obviously Tim has done a load of reviews on his products, and there's a lot of video content for the affiliates. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, so far we did about 4 serious tests, and 3 out of 4 prove that actually video helps. You need to test it, obviously, for each side, but it seems that video is helping these days. If it loads quickly, it's not too invasive, so it's pretty good feature to have on a website.
I guess as well, you can get some rankings from YouTube. If you publish the video onto YouTube, you could probably pick up some traffic from there, maybe.
That's more like video marketing, but if you look at this website, then just like quick video about the product, what it is. So some people don't like reading these days, including myself. So I watch quick 2-minute video. That's quite.
Yeah, you can get a lot more information across.
Yeah, I know Smart4You has really good videos as well, so I think they're adding a lot to the website.
Perfect. Let's have a look at this one then. What are our instant thoughts on this site? Pretty much the same things we've already mentioned, really, I guess. In terms of the text, it isn't exciting. You don't want to read that text because it's. I think they're even using justification on both sides, which is not great. And yeah, it doesn't excite you. You don't want to read that, so you're just going to scroll down or you're going to click off. What is interesting is the use of navigation. Clearly, they've packed a lot of keywords into the navigation, and they're using the standard convention of blue links. Very obvious that they're links, and you've also got the CTA in there, which is good. So there's a lot of good things about this site, actually. Go for it, Paul.
Yeah, just on the justification of the text as well. When you justify the text, it kind of looks even more like one big block, whereas if you left align it, then you get the effect of it going in and out on the right-hand side, which helps to make it look like less text. And it's also easier to read as well. We're used to seeing text being justified in things like newspapers, but as you'll know, it's a lot easier to read print when it's on a piece of paper in front of you than when it's on a computer screen. The proof of that is how many documents have you printed off rather than reading on your computer screen. So we don't always follow the same rules online as what we would offline. So left aligning the text would certainly be one. I also don't like the fact that in the header, the slim weight patch reviews, in fact, they've basically just nicked the logo of the product and stuck reviews on the end of it. And I mean, partly the merchant might have a problem with that, but also the big thing from a conversion point of view is that starts to make the website look as though it's related in some way to slim weight patch, and people will see that and think, well, it's not unbiased, it's not a fair review site. It's the company who owns the product also probably owns this site. So that's definitely a no-no as well, I think.
I'd like to add to Dr. Paul's kind of opinion. The thing is, with this type of website, what you would want to do is like have multiple reviews, like customer reviews and testimonials. So it's kind of justified its reviews, so you have multiple kind of opinions, some good, some bad. Yeah, so nice. It kind of could be like somebody who's collecting the information and feedback on the product.
A nice video in that space with that CTA is good, work really well.
Yeah, probably individuals patch review would be quite good.
Perfect. So before we move on, would anybody like to stick their website up? Obviously, I appreciate that that you might not want to, but if anyone does, stick your hand up.
You may make more money.
Well, we can pretty much guarantee that we can give at least 1 or 2 bits of useful advice, which will help. Nope. Okay. I'm going to move on. We are running a little bit behind, so we're going to move on to more niche developments and reporting. Thank you very much, guys. Very useful. Hopefully, people pull out some nuggets from that exercise. Okay. So some of you who were here last year will have probably noticed that we've sort of progressed quite quickly, and we've done a lot over the last 12 months. I just wanted to kind of pull out some of the most important things that I think will benefit you guys, and hopefully offer some advice on things you can do with your more niche account to kind of improve the sales tracking for yourselves, looking at some of the developments, Also looking at what we're doing moving forward, which niches we're targeting, give you a bit of a heads up on some opportunities moving forward. So I'll run through this quite quickly. You will have heard of a lot of this, but you will also see some stuff that you haven't heard of before. Obviously, one of the biggest things that we've looked at is improving the data that we give to the affiliates. So when you're looking to choose a new product, there's a lot more information available to guide you to the right products for your demographic, looking at the seasonality trends, looking at the conversion rates, the earnings per click, and we'll have a quick run through that. We've also offered the opportunity for the foreign language sites, so you can see which sites your traffic's coming from. You know, you might have some content in German, but you find the sales are still coming through on the .co.uk site, or you might find that you've got English sites, but you're getting a decent amount of German traffic and they're buying from the German site, so a little bit more information there for you. Deep reporting is something that's quite new, and again, it kind of offers you the opportunity to see actually where is the traffic coming from. Are they going straight to the website and buying the product straight away? Is it coming through the hub technology, which we'll run through in a little bit more detail? Maybe it's a phone sale, a reorder, a cross-sell, just providing a little bit more information about where the surfers come from and the journey. The click-to-sale data, so actually how long has it taken from their first click, from when they were looking at the product to actually ordering. There's been a lot of discussion about this, and we've seen customers that buy it even over a year later, but they've still been cookied and they just choose to buy it at a later time. So it's really quite interesting information. We'll look at the split commissions. I'm not going to cover that too deeply because we've got a presentation from Proactal in a little while that's going to run through the split commissions in a lot more detail. Just looking at some of the other technology that we've got in the network, the hub technology, the MixiTrack, how we track the sales and report those back to you. Trusted sites, which some of you will be aware of and some of you won't. I'll just quickly run through that. So average commission is available when you go to the Get Links section of the site, and it just clearly presents what is the average commission. So this is every sale that's generated, what is the average commission that you see as an affiliate. Clearly adult stuff with the high price points is very high. What I would say is average commission on its own it's interesting to know, but it's not a decision-making factor necessarily in which products to promote, because we need to bear that in mind. We need to look at the conversion ratios of the websites. We need to look at the demographic data, and we need to utilize all of this information together to build up a picture of the product that we're promoting. So average commissions on its own isn't the only factor we need to look at when looking at which product we promote. We can clearly see the average commissions of each product, but what's more important and more useful as an affiliate is actually the earnings per click that we're delivering through the network. So one of the tabs in the affiliate area presents the earnings per click for the different brands. And what this demonstrates is that although the average commission, for example, let's talk about Proactal, is a lot lower than Cygenetics, but the actual earnings per click isn't that different. And the conversion rates and the commissions both play a part in the earnings per click, which is basically every visitor divided by the total revenue that you earn in commissions. We can also, on this screen, look at your earnings per click, and you can then identify, is there a problem? How does your earnings per click compare to everyone in the network, the top 10? And using that information, you can decide whether the traffic you drive into the website is relevant enough. Are you upselling to larger order quantities? So, we've seen from past experience that if we tell people to order a 3-month supply or a 4-month supply, then your average commissions are going to go up and your earnings per click will go up as well. So it's a great way to benchmark against what other people are doing and adjust your site accordingly. Using this in conjunction with your analytical data will give you a real good picture of how you're doing in comparison to other affiliates. And that's exactly the same as the conversion rates as well. We can look at the conversion rates of your traffic in comparison to the overall traffic, the top 10 traffic. And again, you'll be able to see, okay, well, am I converting like I should be? If your conversion rate's really high, then we need to look at the traffic, we need to look at the pre-sale and we need to tweak the site. So your conversion rates alongside the overall, the top converters, is a really interesting figure that we should be aware of and work towards improving that if it's not quite good enough. Moving on to the demographic data, we should know where our traffic's coming from, what part of the world, is it worldwide, is it American, is it UK traffic? We should know about that through our analytics, and we should promote the products that are associated to that demographic. So if you've got American traffic, then promote FEN 375 because it's a very American orientated brand. You know, in the UK we've got quite a few brands to choose from. Clearly Capsiplex has had all the offline PR, so that's bumped that right up. So just understand your demographic, understand your site, and promote the products which are most relevant to that demographic. Obviously taking into account the average commissions and the EPC and the conversion rates. So we've got that information. Obviously, we can use that to make sure that we're promoting the right product to the right audience. Seasonality is interesting. I don't think it's going to have a massive bearing on whether you promote the product or not, but it is good to know that do your sales trends match the overall sales trends. We know from Proactol weight loss products that clearly January is a great month. Everyone's starting their New Year's resolutions. Let's lose some weight. We know that the summer's great. Everyone's going on holiday. They want to look good. They want to lose a few pounds. But we know that December, September are the slowest months of the year. So, you know, you can have a look at this data and understand why your sales are high in those months or down. Is it normal? Are your sites matching the trends of the merchant, or is it possibly the sales fluctuation, something locally that you have to kind of be aware of? So it's a nice factor. It's good to know that, oh, I've had a really poor December, but that's normal. Or I've suddenly seen loads of sales coming in April. That's not normal, so it must be something I'm doing well. So we can use that information to make sure that sort of we understand the marketplace. Looking at the different landing pages again, we basically we've now got the facility for the merchants to pass back the landing pages of the sites, so we can see where they're ordering from. It might be in this example French, but are they ordering from the French site or not? It's interesting to know. The thing I mentioned earlier in terms of the deep reporting, in terms of the hub sales, the cross sales, we get asked all the time, well, I'm not promoting Unicudia, but I've made a Unicudia sale. How does that happen? And that's a benefit of the hub technology. So if you send a visitor to a weight loss product, and then they go on to purchase a different weight loss product, you'll still get the commission for that brand because it's in the same hub. So that's why you'll see hub sales and products you're not promoting in the same sector. We're also tracking the phone sales, the cross sales, and a few other bits and bobs. The click to sale information, it's more of a kind of a vanity thing more than anything else. It's not really going to affect the way you market, but it is nice to see that you've got a sale that was first tracked over a year ago. Split commissions is something new, something you've probably either experienced yourself. If you're promoting Proactol, it's the first merchant that we're experimenting this with, and Phil will go through more about the first referrer commission, but ultimately it's rewarding affiliates in a different way, not just on the final, you've closed the sale, here's your commission, but also, okay, you've introduced the customer to the Proactol brand, so you deserve something as well. So it's quite revolutionary, and not many people are doing it. I think Vodafone are playing with it as well. So it's quite interesting, and other merchants are going to pick this up in the adult sector. I know that both Cygenetics and Mail Extra are looking to move forward with something as well. So it's really great for people that are delivering the more organic traffic. If you've got traffic for weight loss, diet pills, and you're actually introducing them to the brand, then you'll see an increase in commissions because of that, and nothing's taken away from the final commission, so it's a bonus ultimately. Looking at the hub technology, as I mentioned, you on your review have got multiple products, but the visitor you send from your website goes to Proactol. They keep searching for weight loss solution for them, but they buy Slim Weight Patch, well then you still get the commission for the sale in generating that visitor's interest and getting them onto your website. MixiTrack, just looking at the different ways in which we track the customers. A lot of networks are very over-reliant upon cookie technology, which in my experience tracks around about 79% of sales. So if you're promoting a product that only relies on cookies, then you've potentially lost 20% of your sales right just there. So by using other technologies, tracking the IP addresses, looking at the trusted sites, which I'll go on to in a minute, ISP data, the user data, then we can kind of formulate a coherent understanding of who that visitor is and try and link them back. So, ultimately our aim is to try and make sure that if the visitor goes through and they end up buying, that we link that back. And using this other information allows us to coherently do that. And trusted sites is something that not a lot of people are using. Ultimately, a trusted site is your URL, which you add to the system, and when the sale is made, the merchant site will push the URL of the referring site, and we can try and use that information to link it up. So even if they've deleted the cookies, the IP address has changed because they're using a a connection that changes the IP address when they disconnect. If we can capture that referral URL, then we can link that to your account if it's verified and credit you for the sale. So it takes out a few of these issues that could occur. Ultimately, as a network, we want to try and track as many sales as possible. So it's just using the technology that's available to us and ensuring that that's as accurate as possible ultimately. So some of the things that we are working on, Bobby and Nick are working on at the moment. One of the things is integrating more with the social network sites. Everyone loves to update their status on Facebook and let people know what they're doing. Well, hopefully with Moreish, you'll be able to update your status in Moreish. It'll update there, but it'll also post those things out if you've added your account settings into the control panel. It'll also update your Facebook profile, it could update your Twitter, your LinkedIn, so you can make all those updates in one simple place, and it's also nice to see what people are working on. In terms of second tier reporting, second tier improvements, we're moving the second tier system into the same tracking platform that tracks all the affiliate sales. And what that will mean is that if you are promoting a product and then the customer goes on to sign up for the affiliate program, that will also be linked under your account. So at the moment, all the links are direct to Moreish. They're not being tracked through your affiliate site. So that will allow you to get a lot more second tier affiliates and earn commission ongoing for the sort of second tier sign-ups. And it'll also improve the tracking. We've got a lot of improvements to the reporting to just improve that part of the system. We're going to fully integrate with the Pioneer processing. It's a debit card, it's a payout solution similar to sort of ePassport, PayPal, those sorts of things. One of the things we're looking to do is also set up a part of the system that allows you guys to log in and outsource some of your work. So we're going to sign up pre-vetted suppliers for copywriting, design, development that we've used and we trust, and to make those available for yourselves. So you could pay, potentially, to outsource copywriting, design, utilising your Moreish funds, or pay for them separately through the Moreish system. And by doing that, everyone's tried to outsource and got their own stories about it's gone well, it's not gone well. People they've used have ripped them off X, Y, and Z. Well, what we hope is we can supply quality designers, quality copywriters, and you take that risk out of the equation, and you know that you're going to get the work back. And by us overseeing that, it will be a lot easier to outsource work than to manage everything yourself. UK registered businesses will appreciate that historically you've had to pay VAT on your affiliate commissions. Doesn't apply to very many people at all, but moving forward, we're improving our system so that basically we will add the VAT back on to your affiliate earnings so you don't lose out there. So when you get to the stage where you're big enough to register for VAT, do it, you'll get the extra commission and it'll all go through the system, and ultimately you won't lose out to the VAT man. Trusted sites is going to improve. As I mentioned earlier, it's a great way to be able to sort of link your sites to the system. One of the things we want to do is, Sassy mentioned earlier, a site was down for a week, she didn't even notice. So we're going to link that into a uptime monitor. So we just check the sites periodically, maybe every hour or so. If they find a problem, drop you an email, this site's down. Just if you're not earning money, we're not earning money, so it kind of makes sense. And then on the back of that, issues with Copyscape, people copying your content, copying your whole site, banging it up. We're trying to work with someone like Copyscape to sort of use the trusted sites to check to see if that happens. Again, it's just sort of making you aware of things. These services are available, but we've got the information, why not use it? So hopefully that will improve the uptime of the sites and make sure you're continually earning your commissions. Something for more the newer affiliates is going to be the mentor program, where each new person gets assigned an affiliate manager who will be responsible for taking them under their wing and managing them. It's not too relevant to people here, but it's something that we'll promote through the second tier program. So again, making more niche more accessible and making the affiliate managers available to the newer affiliates. Just to give you an idea on the upcoming merchant focus, as you're aware, we've got quite a lot of weight loss products in the network now, the biggest brands in the industry. We've got to a stage now where we don't need any more weight loss pills in the network. So we're not going to be introducing any new products unless they're revolutionary or they're Capsiplex. And we're going to concentrate on looking at supplementary brands which we can cross-sell, cross-promote with our existing traffic. Some of the things we could look at: meal replacements, memberships, gyms, exercise equipment, all the supplementary things that could sell well on your guys' sites already. We're going to look at new sectors. Obviously, Smile for You, teeth whitening. We want to build up that sector and make it more prominent within the network. Adding value back to Smile for You by making sure that we are the network. If you want to promote teeth whitening, you use more niche. Same with the diet products. So we will focus more on teeth whitening, bringing more affiliates in, and building that value in that sector. Skincare brands, we've got the skincare product coming out, Clear Skin Max. It's going to be a few months, but yeah, if you jump on it now, then you will be rewarded that 3-month head start. We're going to continually work in that sector. We've done well in there before with the Clear Pores brand we sold in 2006. So we're going to look at bringing more acne skincare solutions into the network, obviously with the same standard that we expect from our merchants. Skincare covers quite a wide range of solutions: acne, anti-aging, all those things. So there's quite a lot to go out there. Hair care, something that we want to look at. It's big market, both hair loss and hair gain. Both very interesting sectors, a lot of traffic. If we can find good products, clinically proven products that work, then we'll bring them into the network, and it'll be an interesting sector to look at. HGH Advance is coming in. We know that it's a big sector, big industry online. We want to invest more time in the whole bodybuilding, testosterone, massive searches. Millions of people are searching for testosterone type products every single month. Massive industry. Competition is very poor. So this is something, again, that we want to focus on moving forward. So it's all health orientated. It's all synergistic to the current stuff that you're working on. And so it's going to do very well within our network. We're going to quickly have a coffee. There's going to be an opportunity to sort of give a bit of a testimonial to sort of into the camera about the event and how you're finding it, just to sort of to encourage more people and to grow the event next year. So if you have time while you're having a coffee, maybe you can just pop over and say hello to the camera. And after the break, we've got Scoots' session, which we're all looking forward to, about why no one's making any money, all the things you shouldn't do, based on personal experience. So I'm really looking forward to that show. So grab a coffee and we'll be back shortly.